Triumph Aerostructures transitioning through change. Triumph Aerostructures Vought Aircraft Division works as a manufacturer of aircraft assembly for commercial, military, and business jet aircraft. They transitioned through several leaderships prior to the merger of the Vought in 2003 with the Carlyle Group, and then from the Carlyle Group to the Triumph Vought. Triumph's publicly traded as New York Stock Exchange Identification TGI. Triumph Aerostructures has 7 divisions across the United States. Several divisions have union representation, including Nashville, Tennessee, and each division operates independently with separate contracts. The culture of the organization includes unyielding to change, separation of union among employees, and detached management and employee relationships. They started undergoing changes over the last decade. 2/3 of their employees moved to the Texas plant with the intent to close the Nashville branch. Then in 2008 they experienced their first union strike in 20 years due to the replacement of retirement plan with the 401k plan, which meant those of seniority less than 16 years would no longer have a pension and be required to enroll in the 401k, and the ability to bring in contractors for work. In an interview with aircraft specialist James Thomas, who works at Triumph, he described his working relationship and environment prior to the strike as pretty good until the strike, and then things changed. He expressed that the choice to strike was over, in his opinion, minute contract issues that was not that relevant to the workforce, such as who was in control of the 401k plans. Shortly after the strike, the company is bought out due to Northrop Grumman selling the majority of his aerostructure business assets to the Carlyle Group. Not long after Triumph bought out the Northrop Grumman, they announced that the C-130 project, one of their biggest, would be moving to India for outsourcing. Then in October 2014, they won a contract to start building the G650 wing. So how did management respond? Well, with the closing or the planned closing in 2005, they were told that they either moved to Texas or was let go from the company, and they were provided a move-in allowance. Although when the project was moved to Texas, they soon found out that they were not going to be able to continue building it in Texas, and the plant did not close, although a great deal of the work that was sent down there continued to be produced, and the Nashville region decreased in size tremendously. In 2008, when they had their first strike in 20 years, management immediately dropped the sign-in bonus and lowered the retirement bonus. They brought in contractors and threatened the jobs of the strikers, which scared many of the strikers, and they dropped out of the union and crossed the picket line, which created the tension between the strikers and non-strikers. Very soon after the strike, the company is bought out by Triumph, and the management responds to this with announcements and introductions and changes in upper management. Again, the company is faced with another strong impact and change when the C-130 military project, one of their biggest, is moved to India through outsourcing. They attempted to negotiate with Lockheed, offering better prices on the contract. When Lockheed refused, they were forced to do a small layoff. Finally, there's light at the end of the tunnel when they won the contract to build the G650 wing. Management asked for volunteers, but then the split with the union employees from the strike reared its ugly head as union representatives claimed they were being partial to the non-union employees. In evaluating Triumph Vought Aerostructures, the cultural environment has suffered as a consequence of all the changes, and Leroy Beach, in the Leadership and Art of Change, He states that a fragmented culture is a sign of an organization that is coming apart. This organization has split in many directions, with the union and employees, between union employees versus non-union employees, and management versus employees and union.